Where is the fraud?
Everybody
Where are
knows
the
that.
fake
and the
votes?
idea that any person will get up and say to you that they do not believe that you should have an ID to vote. I'm not even gonna characterize what you just said.
But you backed it up by saying that we know that all these people vote who aren't supposed to. Where's the proof of that?
We understand the voting rolls. There's dead people on the voting rolls, and this has been proven
Every time they measure this with billions and billions of vote checks, and anybody here or Magic Rob, go up and find different for me on the internet. They look and they see that the amount of fraud in elections is de minimis, which is beyond a level of action. We just went through this.
Okay, let me ask a question a different way. Let me ask. Hang on. Let me ask a question a different way. Let me ask a question a different way. Chris, here's a question. You and I run a nightclub.
Yes.
Okay, it's 21 and over.
Need an ID.
Why?
Because otherwise you can't tell whether they're over 21. And they're worried about the liability.
What about you can't tell whether they're American?
Show me proof.
Listen,
Show me proof.
I get the arguments. I get what the arguments are.
This is no, Chris. This to me is more.
Yes.
No, it's common sense. It's for me to. Okay.
So why do you think that they don't do it again? Because you agree with Candace that the reason they don't require ID is because they want a lot of illegal votes and to manipulate the system. All the watchdogs from the right that follow this issue have just never been able to prove it?
Well, you're racist if you say something.
Of everything Candace said about IDs was for me to be able to get a driver's license, for me to be able to get drink, for me to be able to do this, for me to be able to do that.
I agree.
For me, it's a different reason on why you need a driver. It's for me to know who the hell you are. It's very different.
I totally get it.
I'm not interested in what, all that stuff that I get to do selfishly because I need the ID to do that. No. When you came in here right now, we have friends we respect a lot and we respect our guests. Did you guys all come through a metal detective? Yes or no? Do you know how many cops and sheriff are around here right now? You know how much we spend on security right now to make sure they're safe and nobody can come in here where you're safe as well? Now, we're doing our part. We invest the resources there. Sheriff is very good with us. Cops are very good with us. But did you guys come in here? Did somebody walk you through, find out, verify, checking who you are, what you're doing? We have to do that. We got to go through that process.
I totally get it.
And by the way, this is not 1/1,000,000th of as important as an election, okay?
I agree.
This is just a podcast and a conversation. So for us to sit there and say, the idea isn't that important, brother, you're a very, very, people from your community and others will hear what you have to say and they may go with that as well. In a country without IDs and without being checked, you're not a country. You're not even a country club. You're not even a village. I don't even know what to call you, but you're definitely not a country.
Again. We're a constitutional republic. That's right. Less than 5% of Americans get that.
He said banana republic.
It's also, it's not like they're hiding. When Biden comes in, opens the border with Mayorkas the rat doing his dirty work. How many in the past 3 years we've had more illegals come into the country than children being born? Okay.
December of last year was more coming in than children being born.
And this is where it's that window of, I understand that the proof. The proof is when they're coming in, they're wearing Biden shirts, and being told, we're voting for him because they're telling us to. Then Biden they admitted.
Then they'll be easy to catch.
Yeah, well, hold on though. Those four. But think about this. And then Biden, they admitted last week, he flew in secretly 320,000 illegals across the country, which to me, that's treason.
But it's brilliant, but it's brilliant from the perspective of spread the votes, not just in states you already have control over. You got to spread them other states that you don't have control over.
And then think about this, though. Candace, you nailed it. And then if you say anything against them, it's you're racist. Mind you, and Nancy Pelosi was crying. She was also pissed off on MSNBC, or it might have been, MSNBC. And at the end, she goes, you know what really pissed me off about Biden?
Can you play that clip?
Yeah, Rob, if you can.
Go ahead and say it until he finds
Rob.
it.
I like that. She was
phenomenal name, by the way.
She cried because Biden touched her heart, but then she was furious because he called them illegals. She said these are migrants and they're newcomers. It's obvious they're going to be voting.
Let's watch this. Go ahead, Rob. Magic Rob.
Now, you should have said undocumented, but that's not a big thing, okay? What's the big thing about it?
It's a big thing to Vinny.
I actually wasn't even going to ask about that. I was just going to ask more about the moment. But you do think that he should have said undocumented? That wasn't going to be my question.
Well, we usually say undocumented. He said
And let's just be honest. Because they are, and we all know this, they love power so much. They don't want to lose it. They're willing, look at all the fentanyl, 120,000 dead Americans each year, or more than any war that we've combined all these wars. Children sex trafficking, all these votes. It's such an open, it's a supply chain. And Chris, you nailed it. Is it cheating, or is it that these are the rules? They don't have no voter ID in all these places. The left is just playing the better game. Is that that's what we talked about?
I definitely think there's a game. I definitely think that language and blaming people for being bad if they don't agree is part of the game and really, really effective. It gets used against me on a regular basis. I literally have a monitor of every day whether or not I'm seen as anti-Semitic because I had somebody on who's worried about Gaza, or whether I am pro-Hamas and a terrorist because I'm talking about, what's happening. I get it. This all works very, very well, okay? Pelosi can make whatever point she wants about vocabulary. I don't have any problem not seeing everyone who enters the country illegally the same way. I don't have a problem with that. I do have a problem with the fact that it's not just some brown menace that everybody's being told to be afraid of. You got Russians, you got Chinese, you got a lot of people coming from different countries now in illegally.
They're not sending their best.
This is the main. This is the main. Well, or maybe they are. It took 19 people to bring us to our knees for months in 2001. It doesn't take a lot of people who are motivated to madness to make a difference. But I'll tell you something. The truth is enough. Okay? There is no hidden program.